Canada is massive, second largest country on Earth. But within its endless wilderness and vibrant cities lie pockets of pure beauty. From rugged coasts to ancient forests, Arctic tundra to cobblestone streets, this country is full of places that don't just look pretty, they feel unforgettable. Whether you're planning your next adventure or just dreaming from your screen, these are 15 of the prettiest places in Canada, one from every province and territory. So sit back, relax, and let's take a journey through the landscapes, colors, and stories that make Canada one of the most breathtaking places on Earth. Gros Morne National Park, Newfoundland and Labrador. Gros Morne isn't just a park, it's a glimpse into Earth's ancient past. Located on Newfoundland's west coast, this UNESCO World Heritage Site is famous for its dramatic fjords, towering cliffs, and a surreal landscape where the planet's mantle is exposed. Hike the rust-colored tablelands, where few trees grow, but the views stretch for miles. Take a boat through Western Brook Pond, surrounded by sheer rock walls and endless stillness. Wildlife roams freely, moose, caribou, and Arctic hares in their natural element. In summer, wildflowers dot the trails. In fall, the forests blaze with color. It's a place of raw beauty, deep quiet, and overwhelming scale. Gros Morne is nature turned epic, and it belongs on every traveler's list. Fogo Island, Newfoundland and Labrador. On the edge of the North Atlantic, Fogo Island feels like the end of the world, in the best way. It's a windswept island of dramatic coastlines, colorful fishing villages, and a deep sense of tradition. Time moves slower here, guided by the tides and the rhythm of island life. The iconic Fogo Island stands like a modern sculpture against ancient rock, drawing visitors from around the world. But the real beauty is in the quiet. Fishing stages on stilts, moss-covered hills, and the endless Atlantic stretching to the horizon. Locals welcome you with warmth and stories, carrying generations of resilience. Fogo Island isn't just scenic, it's soulful. A rare place where nature, art, and culture meet. The Island Walk, Prince Edward Island. Imagine walking 700 kilometers of red dirt roads, coastal paths, and peaceful countryside, all on one gentle island. That's the Island Walk in Prince Edward Island, a loop that circles the province and invites you to slow down. You'll pass through fishing villages, potato fields, windswept beaches, and forests that inspired and of green gables. With charming inns and friendly locals along the way, it's less of a hike and more of a soul-refreshing journey. Every turn offers something different. Seabirds overhead, lighthouses in the mist, or a farm stand selling fresh pie. Whether you walk a section or the whole thing, the Island Walk turns simplicity into something beautiful. PI's charm is in the details. Cabot Trail, Nova Scotia. The Cabot Trail is one of the most breathtaking drives in the world, where cliffs meet ocean, and every curve reveals a new postcard view. Winding around Cape Breton Island, it takes you through fishing hamlets, Acadian villages, and the soaring highlands of Cape Breton National Park. Hike skyline trails above the sea, spot whales from dramatic lookouts, or cruise the coast as the sun sinks behind the hills. In autumn, the road blazes with red and gold, pure Canadian magic. It's not just a drive, it's an experience of sound, scent, and space. Rugged and romantic, the Cabot Trail captures the wild soul of Nova Scotia. Just roll down the window and breathe it in. Bay of Fundy, New Brunswick. Twice a day, the ocean rises and falls higher here than anywhere else on Earth. Welcome to the Bay of Fundy, home to the world's most extreme tides and some of Canada's most surreal beauty. Watch as the sea disappears, revealing ocean floors you can walk across, then rushes back like a living creature. Explore the iconic Hopewell Rocks, where time and tide have sculpted sandstone into towering flower pots. Hike coastal cliffs, kayak among sea stacks, or hunt for fossils millions of years old. It's not just about views, it's about motion, energy, and change. The Bay of Fundy feels alive, a place where geology and poetry collide. New Brunswick has never looked so powerful. Dawson City, Yukon. Dawson City feels like a movie set frozen in time, but it's real and it's gold. Literally, this tiny frontier town was the heart of the Klondike Gold Rush, where dreamers once poured in chasing fortune. Today, its wooden boardwalks, historic saloons, and colorful false front buildings keep the old spirit alive. But it's not just nostalgia. Surrounded by vast wilderness and under a sky that dances with northern lights, Dawson is also raw and wild. In summer, it barely gets dark. In winter, it barely gets light. Locals are artists, adventurers, and storytellers. The Yukon River flows past with quiet power. Dawson isn't polished, it's poetic. A gritty gem where history lingers and the wild is always close. Yellowknife, Northwest Territories. Perched on the edge of Great Slave Lake, Yellowknife is where the wild north meets a quirky, creative heart. It's the capital of the Northwest Territories, but don't expect glass towers. Instead, you'll find houseboats bobbing on the bay, a frontier spirit, and some of the clearest skies in the world. In winter, Yellowknife becomes an aurora viewing paradise, with northern lights that swirl and crackle overhead. In summer, the sun barely sets and festivals light up the long, golden days. Wander Old Town's artistic cabins, paddle through hidden coves, or chase legends of gold prospectors and bush pilots. Yellowknife is remote, but vibrant, a city of extremes, of resilience, and of magic written in the sky. Iqaluit, Nunavut. Welcome to Iqaluit, the capital of Nunavut, and the gateway to Canada's Arctic soul. Remote, resilient, and rich in Inuit culture, this city sits on the edge of Frobisher Bay, surrounded by tundra, sea ice, and a sky that stretches forever. There are no roads in or out. Only air and determination bring you here. Explore vibrant art galleries, watch the northern lights dance above the snow, or witness traditional throats singing and drumming. In summer, the landscape turns to wildflowers and wandering caribou. In winter, the silence is deep and powerful. Iqaluit isn't just a destination. It's a lesson in survival, identity, and beauty in simplicity. It's Canada's boldest frontier, and it leaves a lasting mark. Haida, British Columbia. Haida is more than a place. It's a sacred story written in cedar, sea, and sky. This remote archipelago off British Columbia's coast is home to the Haida Nation, one of the oldest living cultures in North America. Towering totem poles stand silently in mossy rainforests, while driftwood beaches stretch beneath misty skies. Wildlife thrives here, bald eagles, whales, and bears, and everything feels connected, ancient, and alive. Paddle to Gwaii National Park Reserve, where nature and culture are protected as one. Haida isn't flashy, it's spiritual. A quiet reverence hangs in the air, and time feels slower, deeper. Come here not just to see, but to listen. To nature, to heritage, to something timeless. Golden, British Columbia. Tucked between 6 national parks, Golden is a mountain town that lives up to its name. Surrounded by jagged peaks, glacial rivers, and deep forests, it's an adventurer's dream come true. Raft the roaring Kicking Horse River, hike alpine trails with views that stretch forever, or cross one of the highest suspension bridges in Canada. But Golden's beauty isn't just in the extremes, it's in the quiet too. Watch the sun rise over the Rockies, or spot grizzlies at the nearby bear refuge. With a laid-back vibe and jaw-dropping landscapes in every direction, Golden is one of those places where nature overwhelms you, in the best way. It's a hidden gem that deserves the spotlight. Abraham Lake, Alberta. At first glance, Abraham Lake looks like a typical mountain reservoir, until winter reveals its secret. Trapped beneath the ice are thousands of frozen methane bubbles, creating a surreal, alien-like landscape that draws photographers from around the world. Even in summer, the lake stuns with its turquoise water and towering peaks of the Canadian Rockies all around. Located along the David Thompson Highway, it's less crowded than Banff, but just as spectacular. Wild winds sweep across the surface, and sunsets here can set the whole valley on fire with color. Whether you're skating across frozen bubbles or paddling through silence, Abraham Lake is pure Alberta magic. Unexpected, unforgettable, and endlessly photogenic. Grasslands National Park, Saskatchewan. In a country known for mountains and forests, Grasslands National Park is a quiet revelation. Rolling prairie as far as the eye can see, skies so wide they seem to swallow you whole, and silence that feels almost sacred. This is one of the last untouched pieces of native prairie in North America, home to bison herds, prairie dogs, and the occasional rattlesnake. At night, it becomes one of the best stargazing spots in the world, with skies so dark the Milky Way glows like a river of light. There's no Wi-Fi, no crowds, just wind, grass, and time. Grasslands is where you go to feel small and connected all at once. Saskatchewan's wild heart beats here. Churchill, Manitoba. Where else can you see polar bears, beluga whales, and northern lights, all in one place? Churchill, perched on the edge of Hudson Bay, is one of Canada's most remote and magical towns. In fall, it becomes the polar bear capital of the world, as these Arctic giants wander right past your tundra buggy. In summer, Thousands of playful belugas fill the bay's icy waters. And when night falls, the aurora borealis often dances overhead in green and violet swirls. There are no roads to Churchill, just rail and air, so getting here feels like part of the adventure. It's wild, it's unpredictable, and it's unlike anywhere else on Earth. Churchill is where Canada's wilderness puts on a show. Kensington Market, Toronto, Ontario. In the heart of Canada's biggest city, Kensington Market bursts with color, culture, and creativity. It's not really a market, it's a neighborhood, a vibe, a living mural of Toronto's diversity. Victorian houses draped in street art, vintage shops packed with treasures, and global cuisine on every corner, from Jamaican patties to Tibetan momos. Musicians busk on sidewalks, fruit vendors shout prices, and no two visits ever feel the same. It's chaotic in the best way, gritty, authentic, and full of soul. On a sunny afternoon, it feels like the whole world has gathered on these few blocks to eat, dance, and just exist. Kensington Market is a celebration of people, and it's pure Toronto at its coolest. Québec City, Quebec. Quebec City is where Europe meets North America, with cobblestone streets, stone walls, and 400 years of living history. Perched above the St. Lawrence River, it's the only fortified city north of Mexico, and every corner feels like a time capsule. Stroll through Old Quebec, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, where French cafes spill out onto plazas and the scent of fresh pastries floats through the air. Chateau Frontenac towers above it all like a fairy tale castle. In winter, snow transforms the city into a glowing wonderland. In summer, festivals bring music, color, and life to every street. Romantic, walkable, and utterly charming, Quebec City doesn't just impress you. It sweeps you off your feet.